What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to another reaction video. Today we got the truth about Bronny James playing in the NBA. Now I'm in LA. Everybody's been hating on Bronny getting in the league. They saying his counterparts were his teammates was scoring like 16, 17 a game, and he went undrafted. Bronny went in the second round. But everybody knows it's about who you know. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, we kind of expected it. But will he thrive in the NBA? We're going to have to wait and see. But without further ado, let's talk about it, y'all. We're going to go ahead and watch this video. And we're going to find out a little bit more of an understanding from, I guess, a guy what you can call who has relatively more basketball IQ than myself. So let's get into it.
With the 2024 NBA draft in the books, there is one major discussion that has dominated the NBA space over the last week. It isn't about the #1 overall pick. It isn't about the...
By the way, I'm calling it now. The first overall pick is a bust. I'm calling it now.
Outlook of these teams going into next season. It's about a late second-round pick. And for good reason, because his name is LeBron James. And he's going to play in the NBA with LeBron James. It's a weird and unprecedented circumstance that
I ain't gonna lie, I'm excited to see this. I don't even watch basketball. I'm an NFL guy for sure, but I'm watching this.
The NBA has never encountered before. A player who many fans consider to be the greatest of all time playing in the NBA with his own son. A story so strange, you'd think the NBA scriptwriters outsourced their work to ChatGPT, picked the most batshit result, and called it a day. But after 2 years of speculation, we now know with certainty that Bronny James will be an NBA player. And right on cue, the criticism of his merits and value as a future player in the NBA have already came pouring in. Scouts and GMs claiming Bronny as a prospect isn't even worth using a late second-round pick on, and that the real value lies in his last name and the leverage it comes with. But how valuable is a second-round pick, really? And is Bronny a legitimate NBA player, or is he only in conversation solely because of who his dad is?
Statistically, bro, it's only gonna be about like 4, maybe even it's 1 to maybe, bro. Honestly, bro, I don't think it's gonna be really no stars in this draft. I could be wrong. Maybe one, the Minnesota Timberwolves got. I could be wrong though. But everybody else, bro, mid.
Who do you want to play?
It ain't gonna be that many good players.
Bronny is #1 on my list.
I gotta be on the floor with Bronny.
It happened. It's crazy how they happen.
Today's
like that,
video is sponsored by SeatGeek.
SeatGeek.
Promo Geek Star. This is Ken Griffey, former major leaguer and 3-time All-Star. This is Ken Griffey Jr., son of Ken Griffey. And in 1990, these two did one of the coolest things a father and son can possibly do. They played in the MLB together. And when I say together, I don't just mean they played in the MLB at the same time. They were on the same team. In fact, they weren't just on the same team, they shared the same outfield with each other. It's probably the rarest and most badass thing you'll ever see in sports. Making it to the big leagues is one thing, but playing in the big leagues next to your kid is a club exclusive to only these two.
Bro, I don't know, bro. Since I became a dad, bro, I don't know how to put it into words, bro. But just imagine, bro, like that's your pops, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's your son, bro. Like, dude, you could be nothing but happy and joyful to see his success coming from your seed, bro. Like, I don't know, bro. Like, it's very meaningful to me personally.
And if that wasn't incredible enough, on September 14th, 1990, the Griffeys pulled off something that you will never see again in your lifetime.
They won.
Inch back up there now. Well hit to center field. Devon White going back. Gone! A 2-run home run. And he hits one well to left center field. Dante Bichette. Back-to-back home runs.
What they say, like father, like son.
What else can these guys do?
Yeah.
The Griffeys were great, and they were the first and only father-son duo in the history of Major League Baseball. But they weren't the first father-son duo in professional sports. This is Gordie Howe, one of the greatest players to ever touch the ice. He won 4 Stanley Cups, 6 MVPs, held the NHL record for total career points at the time of his retirement, and is a member of the NHL's 100th anniversary team. Gordie had an incredible pro career as a hockey player, and yet out of all of his accomplishments, the coolest thing he ever did was this.
Dang.
This is Mark and Marty Howe, Gordie's.
How old do people retire in hockey? And how young do you get drafted, bro? 2? Unless they twins. Marty, Mark, they look like twins almost.
Sons. And he played professional hockey with them in both the WHA,
Unless it's 2 different baby moms, but I don't know.
and the NHL for 5 seasons. Now, if you're thinking, that guy looks a little old to be playing professional sports, you're right. Gordie began his career in the NHL in 1946 when he was just 18 years old. By the time he retired for good, he was 51. A career that stretched from the 1940s to the 1980s. And
Yeah, y'all be talking about LeBron. Talk about this guy.
only with a career like this can a player even have a shot at playing in the league together with their son. Why exactly am I talking about home runs and Gordie Howe? Well, because they're awesome, but also because of these two
No helmet?
and what they're about to accomplish in their own sport. LeBron and Bronny James, who are on track to being the first father and son duo to play together in the NBA, an idea that seemed far-fetched when LeBron first mentioned it years ago, but has now become a reality. But how legitimate is Bronny's spot in the league? And is the backlash towards the Lakers selecting him with a second-round pick in the draft warranted? Well, to answer this question, we first need to know just how good Bronny is as a prospect and as an incoming NBA player. Right now, NBADraft.net has Bronny rated at an 88 overall across their 12 prospect.
Hold on. Let's judge it ourselves, because I already know y'all already know basketball. I don't like that. Athleticism, an 8 out of 10, solid. Size, 6 foot, 6'1"? I'm 6'1", 6'1.5", 6'2", on a good day. Anyways, that's not too big. Pause. Defense, we can work on it. Strength, that little, that's pretty good. The quickness, cool. Leadership, that's great. You want a good leader on the floor, especially at the guard position. Jump shot, NBA ready, 6. I don't know. I don't know how you got the 6 if he's pretty solid in the rest of the stuff. Ball handling, 7. It'll get there. Ball handling will come. Potential, 8. Okay. Passing, 7. Intangible, 7. So pretty much overall, he's a pretty decent and well-rounded player.
Metrics. This overall rating puts Bronny on the lower end of all second-round picks and future prospects over the last 3 years.
Wait a minute. Isaiah Mobley. Isaiah Mobley's pretty decent, right? He played on the Cavaliers, right? Nikola Jokic? Not Nikola Jokic? How do you pronounce that?
But well within range of your typical mid to late first rounder. Now, here are Bronny's numbers during his 1 season of college.
6'2". Okay. I ain't gonna lie. Ass. This is if I had a 2K player and I came out with these stats, I'm gonna just delete the player, bro. I wasted the build. This is ass. This is when you first grab 2K and you said, I got this. And you make your build and your build come out like this, and you said scrap and you throw it in the trash. And you wasted all your cash on this and on VC for nothing. You even probably bought shoes and everything, a nice fit. This right here is disappointing.
Basketball. 5 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists a game on 47, 30, 69% shooting splits. Now these numbers, especially from a relatively undersized guard, do not scream NBA potential. But for perspective, here are the average collegiate stats from every late second round pick that played college basketball over the last 5 years. And even when compared to late second round picks, Bronny's numbers aren't nearly as impressive.
Nah, bro. Stop trying to I'm about to say, don't even try to justify it. That's trash.
In fact, Bronny is arguably the least productive college prospect in NBA history.
Wait a minute, I just thought about it. Didn't he have a heart attack or something? We got to give him the benefit of the doubt. We got to give him some slack.
Here is a list of every player in the entire history of the NBA to be selected in the first 2 rounds of the draft that averaged less than 5 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists a game in college.
Let's see. Bro, hold on. Only 3 players?
3 assists a game in college.
I can't even pronounce that. That kind of look like Giannis in the middle. 3 point. Bro, he didn't even get no assist. Either one. 2.5. Check out Diallo. 3 points. Bro, how did the top dude even get drafted for real? He had to be like 7'10".
And that's it. Just 3 players who were selected in the NBA draft with college numbers equal to or less than Bronny's college numbers. Pair that with the fact that these prospects had at least the benefit of having NBA frames and physical tools to be potentially built off of, and the case for Bronny warranting a pick in the NBA draft becomes more and more difficult to make.
6'8".
But to really demonstrate exactly where Bronny falls amongst other second-round picks, here is a chart of every college basketball player selected in the second round of the draft over the last 10 years, with box plus minus on the x-axis and minutes per game on the y-axis. 298 selections spanning 10 drafts. More than half of these players not even in the NBA today. Where's Bronny? He's right here. Most late draft picks, even the guys who go on to not even make a roster in the league, were first or maybe second options in their college program. Bronny, on the other hand, was an undersized rotational player on a sub-500 team. It doesn't take an NBA scout to know that Bronny James's collegiate career wasn't that of your typical second-round draft pick. But how good is the typical second-round pick? With the rise of second-round sleepers in recent history, most notably players like Nikola Jokic, Jalen Brunson, Herb Jones, and Jordan Clarkson, the potential value of a second-round pick in the NBA draft is about as high as it's ever been. With the help of advanced metrics, the curtain has been pulled back on the value even a solid role player can provide to a winning team.
Damn, I did not know they had the technology like that.
Prospect scouting has gotten more comprehensive than ever before, and these second-round picks have held considerable.
Damn, they got a tough ass job. No wonder why they be pulling bust. Because that's a lot to look at.
Weight within recent trades around the NBA. But how valuable does that truly make them? Gathered from 10 years worth of draft classes from 2013 to 2022, data shows that on average, out of the 30 players drafted in the second round, about 6 of them won't even suit up in the NBA. That's about 1 in every 5 players selected in the second round that will never see a minute of action in the league. Out of the 24.
Why this one right here look like Giannis, man? This kind of look like Lou Will silhouette. You know what? I might be wrong. I don't know. These kind of look like duplicates.
Players who do make a roster in their rookie season, about 17 of them end up playing a second season in the NBA. Of those 17 players that are good enough to stick around for more than a few seasons, only about 8 of them will go on to be a role player or rotational level player. Go one step further, and on average, only 4 of these second round picks will become a starting caliber player in their career. That's about 1 in every 8 players selected in the second round. And finally, of the 298 players selected in the second round of the draft from 2013 to 2022, only 2 of them became All-Stars: Nikola Jokic and Jalen Brunson. If we think about the last 10 years of second-round picks on a scale of box plus minus, with Nikola Jokic being on one end and the players who don't even make a roster on the other, then most players aren't in the middle. In fact, they're not even close.
Hey, we're the Try Guys. Today we're going to see how much money Keith can fundraise for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital using...
Most second-round picks fall way down here, somewhere in between what Basketball Reference would classify as an end-of-the-bench player and out of the league. When considering how to use a second-round pick, the idea of drafting a guy who ends up being a real contributing player, a starter, or even a future MVP, the perceived opportunity cost can tend to outweigh the actual value of the pick. Drafting a player of this caliber in the second round is like finding a diamond in the rough. But giving away a pick or a potential player that ends up being of this caliber would be a mistake that no front office wants to live with. But that doesn't change the fact that the vast majority of the time, these second-round picks in the NBA draft go on to be these end-of-the-bench level players. Just out of curiosity, does anyone know who the last few 55th overall picks in the draft were and how their careers are turning out? Last year's 55th overall pick has played 1 game in the NBA. The one before that has played 23 games in 2 seasons. The 55th pick in 2021, Aaron Wiggins, is actually having himself a solid career so far, but the one before him is out of the league.
His last name, tell it all.
The one before that one is also out of the league.
Yeah.
He's also out of the league, out of the league, out of the league, was never in the league, out of the league, and out of the league. As a late second rounder, if Bronny can contribute on any level in the NBA, he has already exceeded his draft value. And that's really the proposition in all of this. It would be incredible if Bronny developed into a Davion Mitchell or Aaron Holiday caliber player. But the reality is if Bronny can provide any net positive value to his team, then selecting him in the draft will have been a great pick. There has never been a player projected to go this late in the draft with any expectations on what they should or will do in the league. These late draft picks have historically been reserved for players who might have been overlooked, players who maybe underperformed their potential at the collegiate level, players who organizations are willing to roll the dice on because there's virtually no opportunity cost associated with late second-round picks. It's all upside at this point in the draft. If they don't work out, well, that's typical. If they do work out, well, then they've beaten the odds. And the very large point being overlooked in all of this talk about potential and value to the team and X's and O's, LeBron James has the opportunity to play basketball with his kid in the NBA. Let's just be honest. This is blatant nepotism, a classic case of it's who you know, not what you know.
I said that in the beginning of the video. We all knew that. Nepotism been around in the NBA for I don't even know how long. Even Jalen Bronson, bro, his dad was in the league. Like, you got to think about it. All sports have it. You know what I'm saying? But the NBA has it the most. You got to pay your way to the league anyways. You don't just end up on a random high school team and end up in a D1 college. That's rare. You gotta make yourself to these private schools, pay your way in there. Your mom and dad gotta have some bread. And who has the bread? You know the answer, bro. You know the answer. Anyways, I would love to see Bronny actually succeed. I would love to see father and son win a title. You know, I'm a little biased though. You know, I'm a little biased, but I think it'll be great for sports. I think it'll make the NBA a lot of money. They've been losing a lot of ratings. How would I know that? Because everybody's on Stream East. I think it's called Stream East, something like that. But nobody's buying the NBA no more. We're watching it for free, myself included. Oh well, I said it. Oh well. But yeah, man. I mean, overall, bro, you always find that diamond in the rough, and I'm just hoping that he is one of those diamond in the rough. Even if he's like a Ricky Rubio who passes the ball very, very well, plays defense like a Patrick Beverly, or he's just a dog like Draymond. I don't know. It's better. It's like you said, he's already exceeding his value as a second round player by basically stepping foot on the court. So if he's scoring 5 points a game in the NBA, that is different than college. That is a big jump, even though we still call that buns. But add a couple assists, less turnovers, you know what I'm saying? Do like 10, 15 minutes. You're doing something. You're decent. Work your way up the lineup.
But nepotism has ran rampant in the NBA for decades, and no one cared. Countless players, coaches, executives, owners who got their shot with far less merit than Bronny has. But now here we are sitting around talking about the integrity of a man who's played 21 seasons in the league and his son, because they made the most of an otherwise paltry 55th pick in the draft, and the nepotism leaned in their favor this time around. We can criticize this decision all we want, preach about how this move was a breach of ethics, a slap in the face of the game we love. But then we would all be hypocrites, because there isn't a man on earth who would pass up on the chance to play in the NBA with his son, even if it meant pulling a few strings to make it happen. As much as Bronny benefits from sharing the same last name as arguably the best basketball player of all time, that tag has also came with equal scrutiny. We have never seen a late second-round pick get discussed and limelighted like we've seen with Bronny. But
the only thing about this is, because of his last name on the back of his jersey, bro, they coming for you, bro. Like, they gonna foul the hell out of you every time you touch the ball. You might as well just start racking. Bro, just practice free throws. You gonna rack up at least 5 to 6 points a game off of free throws, bro. Trust me. Because of your name, they're going to foul you, bro.
But we've also never seen a late second-round flyer get completely dissected and criticized like this. LeBron and Bronny have a chance to do something that has never been done in the history of the NBA.
That's wild.
And that is worth more than any late second-round pick will ever be.
And bro, that's the end of the video. But one thing I do want to say is this. Listen, the hate that he's getting, bro, he's been famous since he was this little, bro. You're like a little jit, you know what I'm saying? Bro, he probably didn't even try in college, bro, because that wasn't his focus. The NBA was his focus. And I get it. Oh, well, like, bro, how you gonna be good and you ain't even do this and this? Bro, how many players are good in college but go to the NBA and are buns? First round picks, bust. Second round pick. No, first round, second pick, bust. Third pick, bust. Fourth pick, it doesn't matter, bro. But when you add the pressure, I mean, Michael Jordan's sons was trash at basketball. So maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know. Let me know what y'all think. Leave it in the comments below. I'll catch y'all in the next video. Appreciate y'all stopping by. Peace.